can I technically also see a minion while I'm watching people get brutally murdered in the scare zones? Like, yes, because Minion Cafe is right there. So
I want to live in that world, and that's where I
fantasy.
feel like I'm living. I'm Demi, theme park YouTuber, aka Magical Hijinks.
And I'm entertainment journalist Joey Nolfi, and we've both been diagnosed with terminal theme park obsession, and we're definitely going to spread it to you on the Park Peeps podcast.
We've got years of theme park knowledge, so join us as we serve piping hot takes, park tea, offer the best travel hacks and tips, and chat with guests in the theme park space.
So sit down, buckle in, and pull up on that yellow strap while we dispatch for the Park Peeps podcast. Spooky, oaky, kooky, and creepy. Yes, it is only late August, but we can confirm and announce, and also reveal that the Park Peeps have achieved full form.
That's why this episode is officially haunted with specters of one of our favorite theme park events, Universal Halloween Horror Nights, which kicks off Friday in Orlando and September 4th in Hollywood. We'll be on the ground at the event, so we're doing a little preview of this year's offerings, plus my review and reactions from Universal's year-round haunt, Horror Unleashed, from my recent trip to Las Vegas.
But before we get to yet another great element of this episode, our interview with the very special guest, Drew the Disney Dude, my dear friend, who is going to share our final Destination D23 predictions for this weekend, please make sure you subscribe to us wherever you get your podcasts. Leave us the highest star rating, comment, share a link, anything you can do to promote and engage. Help sustain our spooky little souls, including our brand new Substack, which, if you are not familiar with Substack, it is an email subscription service. It will blast out some updates, some extra little things that you don't hear in the episode, some teases and tea, some things that we're feeling in the industry that week. Whatever it is, we got you covered, not only in your little ear holes now, but also in your little inboxes in your email with our Substack. So make sure you subscribe to that. We will be posting links to that everywhere.
And hit that follow button on all socials at Park Peeps Pod, and keep up with Joey at Joey Nolfi and me, Demi, on socials at Magical Hijinks. That's HIJINX. Make sure to stay tuned to those handles in the days ahead, as we have lots of the on-ground coverage coming up for Halloween Horror Nights, Destination D23, and more. Plus, a little surprise recording next week at an epic place with perhaps some delectable fish milk accompaniment.
I'm so excited. I think I was writing that thinking that wasn't going to spill the beans, but I think I pretty much spilled the beans. So if all goes according to plan, yes, that is, Demi and I will be marking a monumental occasion next week on the pod. But we have so much to chat about this week, and this is it's like a bit of a part one installment, I guess, because this is our HHN preview, because we are so just buzzing to get to this event this week. So make sure you check back with us next Tuesday for our full HHN review, our house ranking, food reactions. I'm gagging already. All of the good stuff from our favorite event of the year. I think it's safe to call it our favorite event of the year, right?
Oh, it's 100% my favorite event of the year. Someone once asked me recently if they're like, you're into, they didn't know me. They were like, are you into Halloween Horror Nights, right? And my friend Kristen was next to me, and she said, that's her entire personality.
Yeah, the whole thing. Just every single ounce, every single bit of it. And Epic kind of sapped a little bit out of us this year, but we're back. We are back.
We're back.
Fully back.
I got my frequent fear pass and everything.
Boom, 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 boom. That is,
ultimate frequent fear.
So excited, Demi.
Catch me
I'm
on
so
a
excited.
Saturday.
Catch me on a Saturday. Not in bed at 9:15 p.m. for Halloween Horror Nights. That's right.
Yeah.
We stay up for the demons. We stay up for the warlocks. We stay up for the dolls, I guess, this year.
Yeah. And for the fiend.
And for the fiend. But I think we should, let's just very briefly, I think we should go over, because we're going to be getting into so much of this next week, but most anticipated, least anticipated. So a reminder for everybody, again, the houses this year are Dolls Let's Play Dead, El Artista, Fallout, Five Nights at Freddy's, Gulkin, Grave of Flesh, Hatchet and Chains, Jason Universe, Terrifier, WWE The Horrors of the Wyatt 6. So I think my top three most anticipated, as I've said many times, I think Gulkin. I love Ice Queen. I love a spooky cold setting. I love being hit with a blast of air conditioning.
Mm.
And just the story of this one, I like the sort of mystical, supernatural, blue-hued fantasy of it all. Also, El Artista is my number two. I think that just it seems to be the one that they are leaning into as like their most creative of the original houses this year. They seem super proud of it. The previews that they've showed of the aggressors look really, really cool in terms of costumes. And also, you can check out on Entertainment Weekly. We did some first look photos inside the house, so make sure you go to ew.com to check that out. It just looks absolutely stunning, that house. So I think that one's going to be the sort of very beautiful kind of gothic vibe. And then after this preview, I have to say, and this might surprise people, but my
Mm.
number three most excited is now Jason Universe. I mean, I was not,
Oh,
I'm not a Friday the 13th fan, but
right.
the way that they've been describing what happens in this Jason Universe house, like the last half of Jason Universe seems like it's going to be super intense, and also was made in collaboration with the same people that did the Insidious house last year. So
Oh, so
that
that was
tells
one of my
me
favorites.
that was hands down the best house last
Well, that
year.
was Best
And
House last year, one of my favorites of all time.
yeah, so good. So freaking good. And I think that if, this is any indication as to what we're getting this year with Jason Universe, also I have to mention the same team that worked on El Artista also worked on a lot of fan favorite houses in the past. Like why the hell am I forgetting the name of it now? The boat one. The
Oh, my favorite one?
yeah.
Uh, uh,
Why are we forgetting the name?
because you made me forget because you said, oh, but it's, oh my gosh, Winters,
Yeah,
some,
yeah, yeah, yeah.
yes.
Winter's
It's
boat.
literally my favorite. Dead Man's
Dead
Pier.
Man's
Thank you.
Pier. Winter's Wake.
Wake.
We're like Winter's
It's
boat.
literally my like favorite house, like probly ever, and I never I
Mhm.
always like in the moment I'm like, oh, what?
Yeah, no, it's so good.
Yeah.
I never got to experience that one in person, and so I just have watched so many YouTube videos of it. But that
You
also is telling me that El Artista is going to be that girl this
the
year.
the feeling of like the wind and like the sea hitting your face, like how they're able to recreate that was just like that's why it's my favorite because it was all five senses, that house. It was really
Yeah.
unbelievable. And I hope that's what we're gonna get with Gawkin.
Yes. Well, all five senses.
Wait, what? Six
It's just
senses?
making
Uh,
me
Wait, is it
feel
six senses or
very.
is it five
No,
senses?
no. It's just
You make
making me very anxious for Terrifier.
Oh, it is five senses. Six senses with the movie. Well, I mean, listen, I even got my nails done in black and white for
Oh yes, she did.
our baby boy Art the clown, our baby girl,
Baby girl, baby boy.
baby boy, baby girl. I love him. I will say like I'm concerned about the smells of the house
Uh-huh.
more than I think anything.
Mhm.
Because if you haven't heard, you guys,
Fecal
fecal
smell confirmed.
beep.
Confirmed, which is not the first time they've done that at HHN. But
Yeah.
still.
I mean, if you really just want the smell fecal, I mean, you could just go to the busiest bathroom at Universal and smell. I mean, it's just like that's the truth. But I
Maybe
mean,
that's what they're pumping in.
yeah. If maybe. If you guys follow me on Instagram and on Threads, you might have seen my hype list I posted for all of the attractions. But of course, my top number one, of course, is the Wyatt Six. Are we surprised?
We know. We are not surprised.
If you're new to this podcast, I'm a WWE girly, and Bray Wyatt. I am so excited that this is happening. I'm so sad that he's not here to witness it. EW actually posted a beautiful image of the tribute to Bray Wyatt, which if you watch WWE, you know it's the rocking chair with the lantern on it. So hopefully he's walking through the house with us somewhere in the great beyond.
That's sweet, yeah.
But I mean, I know. Honestly, like, how could you not like put like for me putting Terrifier is like such a close second. Like, if this was not like Bray Wyatt WWE, like Terrifier, just like from all of the hype that has been talked about, like I'm so curious to see. First of all, is it going to live up to the hype? Like, I feel like it will. I don't know how I feel about that one kill that's being put in the house.
Yeah, I'm excited about that just because that, like I've said many times, that I'm so desensitized to horror films. that is the one and only kill in a horror film. And we're talking about, of course, the hacksaw kill from the first
In
film.
first film.
That is the only kill in a horror movie, I would say, within the past 15, 20 years
Yeah.
that I have actually reflexively had looked away. I could not watch it, and I had to actually force myself to go back, rewind it, and watch it because it
No.
disturbed me that much.
I'm desensitized too. I also couldn't watch it. It felt very violating as a woman. But yeah, I mean, whatever, it's there. And then my third is Gawkin is like, just like Joey's is number one, but like, I'm so excited for Gawkin. I really feel like we're going to get that winter feeling on our
Yes.
face.
Yes, the
Ooh,
winter spray, the winter spray.
where it's
I
going to feel so good in this
it
disgusting, disgusting heat
it
and
really
rain that I'm
is.
sure we're going to get.
Yeah, oh yeah, it's I checked that forecast. It's supposed to rain, so you know what? Bring it on. I'm so excited because then
Yes.
it'll make the wet path and Terrifier not be as bad. Which they
Yes.
are selling ponchos out front. They are selling ponchos out of the front. That is confirmed. But
Love that for us.
yeah. And you know
Um,
what? The Five Nights at Freddy's, I was gonna say I'm not a fan of Five Nights at Freddy's, but just seeing what they're doing with the Jim Henson Creature Shop and the fact
yeah.
that the aggressors are all not going to be in the costumes, those are actually all going to be either puppets or animatronics.
Yeah.
That's super exciting to me.
That that's so exciting to me. I mean, I really think. Did you play the game, Joey?
I did not. No.
Okay, so we
Mm-mm.
both did not play the game, and I think the same. We've seen the movie, and I think people who have played the game have a very different opinion on and
Yeah.
hype of this house.
Oh yeah.
So I'm really excited for people who have played this game.
Hmm.
But for us, it has not been on near the top of our list at all. The only thing for me that has been exciting is the Jim Henson part of it all. But what I'm really excited to see is the pizzeria experience that they're talking
Yeah,
about. Like
that sounds fun too.
that sounds so fun, like, especially after, if you guys didn't hear, we did a whole episode about like non-theme park animatronics. Oh my gosh.
Hmm.
And of course we got into some pizza
Yeah.
themed ones, and I think you should
Yes, we
go back
did.
and listen if you have not. And I'm really excited. It feels like very full circle for us. You know what I mean?
Yeah. No, yeah, you're totally right. And I think that and we have been saying, I mean, for months now, we've been speculating that this could be a thing, that it's not just going to be, well, initially I didn't think it was going to be a house at all, but now that it
Yeah.
is going to be a house, and I was saying, maybe it's going to be some sort of food experience like this. And I think it would have been a
Right.
real opportunity missed to not have done that. And I'm very glad that they are doing it. My only concern is if it's like outside and like an
Well,
uncovered sort of like quick servicey kind of style
I
situation, which I don't think it will be. I hope it's not.
I think we're all kind of assuming it will be in Louis. It makes sense to put it in Louis. It's already
Yeah,
a pizza place. It's inside. There's indoors. But like
yeah.
it could get like really crowded in there. So I don't really know what their plan is. I actually thought at some point like, oh, is it going to be at Cabana Bay? Because sometimes they do in the like that media
Oh
room. They do like
yeah.
something. They haven't done it in a while, but the last time they did was Chucky. 2 years ago. They didn't do one last year.
Right.
I loved the jacked up experience when that was really great. So I thought maybe that was going to be it. I haven't heard anything anything going to be there this year, but like maybe I don't think so.
Interesting.
And then like I'm also really excited about like the Mel zombies.
That's going to be cool. That's going to be really cool.
Yeah,
It seems like
I
they're going really hard on experiential things this year in addition to just the houses. Like, I
houses.
mean, I know
Yes.
they do this a lot every year, but like, I mean, they've got 4 really cool scare zones plus Mel's plus
Yeah.
this Five Nights at Freddy's thing, 2 shows. So it does seem like experientially this is, and the scare zones seem
Yeah.
like almost like they're bigger and more elaborate this year.
They are. I walked through Cat Lady Crooked Lane like the other day, and
Mhm.
it was like it goes all the way to like the center. Like so, normally it just stops like right when you're about to like hit like that like what's it's like there's a character artist right before you go to
Oh
like the
yeah,
kid zone
yeah.
area,
Hmm.
but it goes like into the middle of it, like because there's like the big house. She has like this huge house. I was like,
Yeah.
this is so cool. And like the amount of like Cats the musical memes I'm gonna like have to do, it's gonna be prepare to be sick of me. Uh,
I just ducked out of frame. I'm
and
doing
I have and I
Catitude
say
by Miley
and
and
I
RuPaul.
and I say that as someone who cannot stand Cats the musical.
point.
But regardless, I'm excited about that. I'm excited about Masquerade. I think that's such a great theme. Toxic 20 seems like it's going to be fun. And
The
but
little rats. Did you see the little rats that people are taking pictures of? They put little rats out there. There's like little guys, little fuzzy, like gray and black rats on eating the little. They put them all
oh
over the scare
god,
zone. Yeah, they look
oh
so
I
cute.
didn't see that yet. That's
Hmm.
funny. One of your little guys.
Little guys, many little guys.
Yeah, and a new nighttime hauntophonic show, like on top of Nightmare Fuel. I think like
What did Francis call it?
oh
World
a
of
World
Color,
of
but for
Color.
Halloween.
Yeah, I mean it's true, but
Mm.
listen, like it's I like watched the other day. I watched Cine. Cinesational, and it was even one of the nights without the drones, and it's just like so impressive, and I like, and it's so like it's just so cool, and so I'm really excited for Hauntophonic. Like, and I'm always excited for Nightmare Fuel, but like I feel like I might be more excited for Hauntophonic this year.
Well, I'm excited for neither, but I will watch them. I will watch them. I just, in terms of scare zones, Cat Lady, that's my number one.
Yeah,
I mean, once you see those hairballs all over the place, I was like, oh, they're going for it. And those pictures of the
now and
cats,
forever.
I'm so excited. I'm so freaking excited for Cat Lady of Crooked Lane. But
Yeah,
also Origins of Horror, I think is going to be kind of cool because like the guy Sergio from El Artista, he's like kind of the icon this year, but like, not really. But there's like
right.
some sort of crossover between El Artista and Origins of Horror, so that's what makes me think they're going really hard on that house this
Yeah,
year.
we don't have an icon this year, and
Mm-mm.
I kind of hate that.
Yeah,
Especially,
it's strange.
I loved the sisters last year. I thought they were so great.
Did I
Um,
tell you the story of
yes,
what?
yes,
Oh,
they're sisters. If anyone really needs some reassurance,
that's not what I mistakenly assumed last year, and might have had a drink or two and
it's
was
okay.
talking with Quincy, whose shirt I'm wearing, by the way, on the
Oh, the
pod today,
Dracula
the
feet one.
Dracula animatronic shirt. Yes, so everybody should go check that out. But yes, they are sisters
The
of the
sisters,
biological kind this year or last year.
sisters,
What were their names? Like
sisters. Oh,
Fear and
oh,
Phantasm or
no,
something.
no. Oh my gosh.
Sinister and Surreal. Sinister and
Yeah,
Surreal.
Sinister and Surreal. I
Yeah.
loved them.
Yeah.
Oh my gosh.
Hmm.
I watched them for hours. Like just to me, like that's like my favorite part of horror nights is literally just like grabbing a drink in my blinky cup and vibing in the scare
Yep.
zones. Like truly, like I love the houses. But like to me, like it's just like I want to live in that world. You know what I mean? I want to live, and that's what where I feel like I'm living. When I go in the houses,
Yeah.
I'm going through an
A
experience. When I'm
fantasy.
when I'm just walking through the park with my blinky cup and getting to see all the spooky people around me, and like this is just like my people.
Yeah. Yeah, and
Yeah,
it's just it's fun because like there's so much atmosphere and vibe, and it just this is the thing that I mean a lot of people complain about, oh, sight lines and stuff not flowing together, right? And I'm like, this
yeah,
is a perfect example of why that doesn't really matter. Like, am I standing on the streets of New York City while also watching a medieval fair and somebody torture somebody in the window and pull their spine out? Absolutely. Do I care? No, it all just works. It's
yeah,
the chaos, it's the craziness. I love it all. Can I
yeah.
technically also see a minion while I'm watching people get brutally murdered in the scare zones? Like, yes, because Minion Cafe is right there.
And I
So,
noticed also actually Origins of Horror, it goes really far back this year, like
yeah,
through like all the way to like the end of the sidewalk by VillainCon, which
yeah.
I feel like it's never usually that far back. So uh for people who like get scared in the scare zones and want to avoid them, you don't have a chance this year,
No.
really.
Well, I think they did announce that they're coming out with necklaces this year that say "Deathly Afraid," and so
Oh,
if you're wearing those, the people in the scare zones will kind of leave you alone.
I
But it's
love
not for
that
houses.
idea.
It doesn't work on the
Right.
houses. But
Well, duh.
yeah.
Yeah.
So I do want to make sure we talk about my favorite, least favorite topic of Halloween Horror Nights every year, which is the food. I want to talk about
Food.
our most anticipated and least anticipated food, which, to be completely honest, like everything is least anticipated food to me at HHN. And this is not, I must clarify, as I have said, it is not a ding on the chefs or the artistry or Universal in any way. It is solely because I cannot associate food with horror stuff. It just makes me want to vomit immediately. So maybe
Hmm.
the most anticipated and least anticipated, the meanings are reversed here because like I'll just start with, I mean, there's very few things that appetize me about this year. Um, One, I do like the Cat Lady Sourpuss drink with bourbon, blackberry syrup, and lemonade. That sounds very much my tea. I'm going to get that. Also in Cat Lady, the birria beef walking tacos, because last year
Hmm.
at the Hollywood edition in the Mexican section, they had the most amazing Frito walking taco that my friend Lauren and I got. It was one of the best theme park things that I have ever had in my life. It was so good. And this one
Yeah.
looks like it has peppers and green onions, and it looks so good. But also, Five Nights at Freddy's, you know I'm getting that little guy, my little cupcake, and you know I'm carrying him around the whole night. I will be with him all night. I will not be eating him. And then also, from the Dolls food booth, there is the Temper Tantrum chicken nuggets. So those
Yeah.
look really good. And then in terms of least anticipated, everything. However, pretty much everything from Fallout, the the deviled eggs. I am halfway through Fallout, by the way. I really like it as a TV show.
Yeah.
And the show also grosses me out. I cannot eat I can't snack while I watch it because it's disgusting.
Right.
They
Well, to
eat,
be clear, it's not real deviled eggs. It's coconut panna cotta eggs, quote unquote, with
right.
pineapple whipped ganache and tahini.
That makes it so much worse because it's like the texture and the taste don't go together, but the deviled eggs, they're eating them in the show, and I'm just like, bleh. They also in Hollywood, I don't believe this is in Orlando, I think it might just be in Hollywood, but they have the Fallout rad roach legs, which are turkey
Ew.
legs. I can't do it. There's also the Fallout gulper stew, which is clam chowder, and apparently, and I just finished this episode, there's a big thing in the water, it's called a gulper, and it comes out and it looks like an axolotl, and it also,
Oh,
Demi, I'm sorry,
the noises that you're making.
my last one, everybody has to feel the way that I feel. The last one, I'm sorry, it's coming from your WWE house.
Yeah,
And I
no, I
did
know.
check, it's in Orlando and in Hollywood. The Huskus Man Slop.
Yeah, the name is terrible, but it's just like a sloppy Joe. But Huskus is the pig character, and it's sloppy Joe with jalapeno bacon, dill pickle flavor potato chips,
No,
and
thank
cheese
you.
sauce on a chocolate almond bun.
No, thank you.
I like a sloppy Joe. I don't really eat them ever, but I always think of the movie It Takes Two with the Olsen twins. And the big, juicy, messy burger. Anyway, I'm from
Are you
the
talking about
90s.
the one where they're like, we want
The Parent Trap one.
pizza? Oh, no, never mind. Never mind.
It's basically the
Never mind.
Parent Trap with Kirstie Alley and Steve
Mm-mm.
Guttenberg.
Mm-mm.
Anyway, so it doesn't it might be good, but the way there's like a lot going on in there. I don't know about the chocolate almond bun part of it, and I don't know. I don't know.
I mean, man slop.
There's
Man
just so
slop.
everything is very heavy, and I don't know, I'm gonna do our best, but what my question, Joey, about the food at Five Nights at Freddy's dining, which is like supposed to look like a pizza parlor or whatever, it's what we've been told, why are they serving eggs Benedict?
You know what, Demi? I think it's to personally terrorize me because these are foods that I could eat. If you served this to me at a mall and it wasn't attached to horror, I'd be fine with it. I'd be like, oh, a pizza place
Right.
serving eggs Benedict, totally fine. Not in the context of horror. I just can't do it. I can't
I
do
don't
it. I can't do it.
no, but for me it's like, what does eggs, like Mike Eggs Benedict, maybe it's something within the series that
Yeah, all
that's
the
probably
Five Nights at Freddy's fans are like, what are you talking about? It
what do you-
makes total sense.
total sense. But when you don't know the lore and you just see
No.
Eggs Benedict,
Yep.
and I'm sure it's probably going to be fine too. It's just like, what, Eggs Benedict at a pizza place?
Yeah. Demi,
And
I'm
it's like
gonna
a
have
breakfast food.
I'm gonna have to eat some of this stuff, aren't I?
Probably. But
I'm
you know
gonna
what
have
we
to.
all should be eating the day after Horror Nights, when you are basically hungover and you're back in
What?
the park, like you're hungover from being tired and responsibly drinking, and you just want to die, but you also want to go on Velocicoaster. You're gonna go to Seuss Landing and get yourself some green
better
egg
say it.
ham
That's
and who
right.
hash.
That's right. That's right.
And I'm
that's
telling
right.
you, I get it every time. The next day, this will be the first time I won't be going to Islands right after, because now Epic is there. But after my first night, I'm always like, oh, beeline it over for the most perfect hangover breakfast.
That is my favorite theme park food. It is my
Oh, me too.
all-time favorite theme park food. On Friday, as soon as I get there on Friday, I'm going straight there. I'm going straight there.
Yeah.
That's my breakfast on Friday. I
Oh, yeah.
am, bam, doing it.
Bam.
All right.
Well, we
Well,
should we should talk about something else horror related.
we absolutely should.
Yes. If you are not aware, Universal has created a brand new horror experience, a year-round horror experience called
Yes, they did.
Universal Horror Unleashed, and that debuted on August 14th in Las Vegas at Area 15, which is a complex filled with other different experiences like Meow Wolf and the John Wick experience and other things. And they even announced, Universal, that they're going to open another Horror Unleashed at some point in Chicago. So this is something that's not just at one place going to be. Like, maybe there's going to be other places. So I was there at the very first day for opening of Horror Unleashed, and openings are always very interesting days. So, but I have to say, like, I feel like there's a lot of people that that didn't really give this a great review. And I don't really know what they were expecting, because this is how I kind of expected it, especially if you've ever done anything in Vegas. If you've ever been to a Vegas attraction like Meow Wolf or even the John Wick experience or any little thing where it's like you go and do a thing, it's very much like that, because with Vegas, it's you do these like activities, especially during like the day before like all the nightlife stuff happens, and it very much like feels like that. But I had a really good time. I think, like, for me, how do I say this? Like, I'm worried about the experience because Las Vegas in particular. Now, I don't know how this is going to go in Chicago. I have no idea what the scope of Chicago is. But Las Vegas tourism is like down. It's very down. And it's also very expensive to go there. So a lot of people are avoiding it. Like, if you get like a Starbucks and it's $5 in your regular place of living, it's going to be $9 there. Like, everything is marked up there. It's very expensive. And there's a lot of people that need to be in this place to make it work. You have 3 bars. And by the way, I did a full coverage over on the YouTube channel, so please make sure to go check it out so you can see all the details. You have 2 bars, a walk-up food stand, a full-service restaurant, scare actors like in the main areas like around, and then 4 houses with scare actors in it, and then obviously other staff members as well. And then you need to be able to like really have people stay and hang out. Oh, and the show, and the Jack show with all the people in that. So you really need to be able to make sure you have an audience that's going to kind of like linger throughout the day, because part of the experience with that, it's like they're expecting you to not just come and do the 4 houses. They're expecting you to like get a drink, get something to eat, go to the restaurant, see Megan dance too, and see the Jack show and whatever. And, it depends on like people's schedules. I do think there is definitely a group of people that are like the biggest horror fans that like that is their destination. But for the most part, I feel like this is going to be a place that you go to if you're in Las Vegas, right? And you're going to have a great time. I think the houses came out really, really well done. There's like, because it's not regular Halloween Horror Nights where they're just like have a billion people and you're just like a train of people and you may not get the best scares. You have staggered entrances. And that to me is the best part, because you really can get those scares. And in each house, there's like a point where like you stop and you watch something, which really blew my mind. So I think I enjoyed everything there. My favorite part, I'm gonna shout him out, was Robert. Robert was just a scare actor. He's that's literally his name. He's a scare actor that walks around and he's like in like a ski mask, and he's just like, he's like a crazy person. Like, he's just like a normal guy named Robert, and he's so fun and funny though. And like, he is so great. We've even played rock, paper, scissors together, and he may have pulled out a knife. Like, it was, I know. Yeah. But like, everybody there was having the great time. The Jack and Chance show was very good. To me, Chance was the biggest like standout in that show. She is phenomenal, great character. And the food was very good. We had a bunch of things. We tried food from the food stand. We tried food from the restaurant. We tried drinks. And we all had a very nice time. I think, like, again, do you need to go there? Maybe not. Like, maybe, I don't know. I think it's fun, but, like, I don't know if you necessarily have to make this a destination event for just that. But, like, if you're going to Vegas, like, yeah, put it on your list. And what's really cool is, like, you can spend hours there. Like you can like it opens at 2 p.m. and you can stay as long as you want. So if like you get like if you don't have to like get like a 4 p.m. if you can get a 2 p.m. if you want to stay longer, you know, they're not kicking you out. They want you to stay, they want you to watch, they want you to eat, they want you to drink. So that's how I feel about it. I think that the Universal Monsters house was definitely my favorite one. I really loved the original house, Scarecrow the Reaping. That I never did that one because that was over in Hollywood. But I don't know really how I felt about Texas Chainsaw Massacre. According to people like Joey, who's done it in Hollywood, there was like a smell.
Blech.
That did not happen here, and it was shorter.
There were some people online I saw that were saying it might have just not happened first. It might be like an intermittent thing that, you know, at the park, some things work, some things don't work, because I definitely, the very first walkthrough I walked through, the person said that it smelled.
Okay, so that didn't happen for me.
Yeah.
I didn't smell anything. And yeah, I just felt it was short for what I've always heard of it being the scariest house in the entire world. It did not scare me very much. Like I got a few scares, but
yeah,
that
the one
also
in Hollywood
helps
wasn't very scary either.
Oh, really? Because everyone was saying that was like the scariest house ever.
No, it didn't get me that good. I came out of it just being more disgusted by the smell than anything. That was like all I could remember. It didn't really scare me that bad. No.
Yeah. An Exorcist believer, like, you guys know the character that Kristen Wiig plays on SNL, and she's like, and I'm Judy. They look like her.
Not Universal Horror Judy. Judy Unleashed.
Their wigs are like really far back. Like they're really far back. But like it's on purpose or whatever. And they're all doing a great job. I don't know if that would have been my pick for a house there. Like Dead Man's Pier, you guys, was sitting right there to have all year round. Like that would have been so cool. But I enjoyed myself. I thought the show was kind of fun. I love that they had a Megan doing a little dance to Chapel Rowan, because of course. But yeah, that's kind of my take on it. And make sure to go check out, again, the full YouTube video of the entire experience and what to expect and reviews of everything over on the Magical Hijinks YouTube channel. But yeah, that was it. And we would love to know if that's something that you would go to as a destination.
Well, yes. That I would be interested to know, because I think the audience for this, like obviously Las Vegas gets a lot of people coming in from Los Angeles too, just for weekend trips, but they have horror nights for 3-4 months out of the year. So it's like the other certain months of the year, is there enough here to get them to come for a weekend trip? And it's also super expensive. But you did bring up a good point, as I do think Las Vegas has a much more interesting pool of actors to choose from than Orlando. So I do think that element of it is pretty cool. But obviously you get a lot of great actors in Hollywood too. But I mean, Las Vegas, you get some really interesting personalities and performers. So it's going to be interesting to see how this holds up, because my main first reaction to it is, obviously I've not been there yet, but the location of it just doesn't. If they had put it on the Strip, I think it might make more sense. But to me, at least when I've gone to Vegas, anything that is not on the Strip, it's kind of like, am I going to take an Uber to go to this area thing? Well, I don't know.
I was in Vegas for like a week, and I will say, like, the Strip was fun, but we went to Area 15 like a few times. We went first to Meow Wolf, and then we did the John Wick experience. But the thing is, like, even in Area 15, which is a very popular destination, it's only 10 minutes from the Strip, and Ubers are, believe it or not, like, Ubers were very cheap. Ubers and Lyfts were very cheap. Like, considering how expensive everything was, like, everything was like $10. So that was great. And yes, go off the Strip, go to Fremont Street, which I highly recommend, way better than the Strip. Had the best time over there. And also, like, the gambling on the Strip is terrible. Like, it's terrible. Everything is high priced, bad return on slot machines. And also, like, if you're a blackjack player, it's just a continuous deck. And when you go to, like, I went to Circus, they had $5 blackjack, and they had only a certain amount of decks. So your dealer is going to actually bust out more, and you actually have a chance. So I actually really didn't love the Strip that much. But yes, of course, you're going to have a more like focal point. But even in Area 15, it's in its own separate building. So you have the original Area 15 that has like Meow Wolf and a few other things. And then next to it is a whole building just for the John Wick experience. But it's like a 5-7 minute walk to the other building where Horror Unleashed is, which has their own building. So you actually have to go to the correct Uber drop-off to make sure that you don't have to do that walk. So it's really far away from the original. So I worry about that too, because and you don't see the building really. Like, I think you can see it from the highway, but the building is like tucked away when you're like walking to it. Like, you don't see Horror Unleashed until you're like in between these other things that are blocking it. So yeah, I don't know.
We'll see. I mean, they've announced Chicago. I'm not.
And I again don't know anything about Chicago, but from the comments I saw, they're putting it apparently in a spot that a lot of people don't go to in Chicago. But yeah. I don't know 100% because I've never been and I don't know anything about Chicago. But we'll see. I wish everyone success. You know, that's all I can say.
Same. Well, thank you, Demi, for going there and for bringing back your wonderful coverage that everybody should go check out on the Magical Hijinks YouTube channel and Demi's socials. And what a lovely little recap here. I cannot wait to get out there myself, but we will be right back with some lighter discussions with Drew the Disney Dude about Destination D23. Hello, dear listeners. Welcome back to the Park Peeps podcast, where we are bringing that triple D flavor to this week's interview.
Just like our episode title, our next guest is an icon of alliteration, so it's fitting that he's here to discuss with me, Demi, details of Destination D23 ever so I can't say the word, diligently with us. Please welcome Drew the Disney Dude.
Drew, Drew. How are you?
I'm finally getting to meet you guys virtually, so this will be a fun conversation, hopefully.
Yes, I'm so excited. And I just had to, there's no better introduction to us than when I give Demi a little bit of vocal terrorism, because I love giving Demi some tongue twisters in our intros.
Clearly, I am not the icon of alliteration, so it's good job for that one, Drew.
There we go.
You know what? That's right. Leave it to Drew. Drew the Disney Dude. I have been watching Drew's stuff online so I don't mean to demean it by calling it stuff. It is really interesting stuff.
It's a lot of stuff. No, that's fair. That's fair.
It is a lot of stuff, and but it's really cool stuff, and it's really interesting stuff. And I feel like now that we're friends, I feel like anytime I'm like watching one of your videos, I'm just like, hey, guess what? I'm watching your video right now.
Yeah.
Just like,
it's it's funny you mentioned that, because even like I was reading your articles. I think the first one I remember that popped out to me was like late 2023, when there was a lot of like back and forth on if people were believing in Disney and what they were going to invest in the parks. And you got that exclusive interview with Josh D'Amaro at the time.
Yeah.
And I remember he said, we're going all in. And then, less than a year later, they announced 14 new rides. So I kind of always think back to that interview, how Bruce Fawn came back and then your interview dropped and then everything was announced. So yeah, I think in ways we're all connected somehow.
You mean the beginning of the destruction of the Muppets? Yes.
Yes.
Oh my gosh. Not me foretelling this. No, but I appreciate that. I was so gagged at that whole trip that I got to do. And just to clarify for everybody here, this was way prior to Park Peeps. This is something with my job that is not related to Park Peeps. It was for coverage for EW. I was able to go to Hong Kong Disneyland, interview Josh D'Amaro there, and that article is on EW.com. Make sure you go check it out. But that was a really fun interview, and I am really glad that he told me some of the stuff that he did. So it's really cool to see how they have evolved since then and the things that they're doing. And I definitely want to get into discussing some of the... Hold on. There's an airplane going over.
It's Josh.
I should just leave that in, honestly. I might just leave that in. I mean, it's given that you do sort of have your ear to the ground on this stuff, it makes the most sense for us to talk with you about this, because I do enjoy your reporting and your everybody should go check out Drew on YouTube, because some of the videos are just, it's, if you want the tea, if you want the Disney tea, Drew's got it.
I do my
perfect
best.
person. Yes, perfect person to discuss this with. The very real things that we have to discuss here. Destination D23 is kicking off in Orlando this week. this weekend, actually. There are panels set for Saturday and Sunday. However, there are some reservations and skepticism about there being no specific parks panel, at least from what we can see or deduce from the titles. Now, Disney
Yeah.
has given us updates on attractions and projects. They made an announcement last week where they released new art for Big Thunder Mountain, but there's also new art for the Muppets takeover of Rock and Roller Coaster. But should we be concerned about the amount of parks news coming from this year's event, or should we be optimistic, do you think?
I mean, I think I'm kind of in the same boat as everyone, just confused on why is there such an inconsistency with Destination D. Yeah, I think I'm more just kind of like, why aren't we getting updates when there's 14 rides in development? So yeah, I'm disappointed, and we're going to get some announcements. They're going to be spread out, kind of sprinkled throughout the 2 days. But I don't think it's going to be anything groundbreaking to where, they're announcing like a new ride. Like, we're not going to get any shock project. It's just going to be like, maybe a new piece of concept art for Coco, or something like a new piece of concept art for the castle coming to Abu Dhabi, or maybe how the Imagineers are approaching Villains Land, like little things. For us who follow the parks very closely, I think those will be fun. But again, when people are spending so much money to be here, is that enough? In my opinion, not at all.
That's a good point. That is a good point. I mean, I feel like the only like concrete tease that we can think of is the villains panel happening at 9:05 a.m. Eastern Time, 6:05 a.m. Pacific Time on Sunday. The timing of that seems deliberate to get ahead of the news cycle that day, since it's earlier. So maybe we should we expect updates for Villains Land there?
Yeah, I think we're going to certainly get Villains Land mentioned. But I think some people have been seeing it's a 45-minute long panel that morning. So I think some people are expecting like a lot of villains talk, whereas this is very much aimed as a general villains thing. Mickey's Not So Scary Halloween Party, Oogie Boogie Bash, the Disney Villain Show at Hollywood Studios. And I even think we're going to probably get some significant news on the Disney Destiny cruise ship, because that's coming up this November. So I would expect them to kind of talk about how they've approached projects like the parties and even the Disney Villain Show, like I mentioned, and then kind of maybe that last 15 to 20 minutes, maybe do 10 minutes or so on the cruise ship, talk about, because it's all heroes and villains. And then the final 10 minutes, the final 10 minutes, I think they're going to talk about villains. But I mean, Villains Land is still 4 years out. So like, if they really drop anything significant here, I'd be shocked. I think this is kind of an opportunity for them to kind of, I don't know, give an optimism to the fans of, we understand that this is replacing Tom Sawyer Island Rivers of America, and we want to deliver on that. So this is the thought process we have as we are working on these concepts. And then next summer, we're going to give you those big details. But one of my main hopes for Villains Land, and this is very much a Drewism, something that 99% of people would never care about, but if it got announced, it would be massive. And that's the fact that one of Disney's most legendary Imagineers, in my opinion, is Jolt Horme. He's worked on tons of projects worldwide, and he's this rockwork wizard. The man's just brilliant. I want to talk to him so badly and interview him. And recently it was confirmed that he's working on Piston Peak, the Cars area, but they haven't talked about him working on villains. And if he is one of those creatives on stage talking about villains, well, that indirectly confirms that he's working on Villains Land. And that would be massive news, because he's worked on Tokyo, Cars Land, Pandora, and having that mind behind this project, in my opinion, would be significant, even if they're not talking about the land details themselves. So yeah, I think it's just kind of like set expectations to, maybe 15 minutes of this panel will be newsworthy, and it's not all Villains Land.
I cannot imagine a world in which he is not working on this. I mean, he, like the rockwork icon, that concept art that came out is all rockwork essentially. Exactly. So it's, I mean, and it's really cool, impressive looking rockwork. And I think that I've been saying this for a while. I think Villains Land is this to me is the chance for Imagineering to. We know that there is the IP mandate and that everything has to have IP now. However, I think this is the project that stands to give people who want that sort of originality and creativity from Imagineering that we've been missing for a while. This is their chance to do it in a really new way. Because yes, it's IP, but it's not necessarily tied to one film or one specific thing or one story. It's a new story. It's Josh said at D23 Brazil last year that there is a spell that summons all the villains into one place. So it's a completely new story. Kind of reminds me of almost like a Kingdom Hearts vibe, where you're taking all these different pieces of IP
like
and
the Hocus
bringing it
Pocus
into
villain
one.
show.
Yeah.
It's essentially, I mean,
Yeah.
it's you're pulling different things into one space, and this is their opportunity to do something huge and creative and really blow it out of the water. And I really think that it would be a crime to not have him involved in this. But
Hmm.
Yep.
uh, on that note, I mean, Disney did announce that they're bringing back Imagine You're That with Tom Morrow. So in the preview, there was a post-it note behind him that said Lunch with Figment, and Figment was also featured in some of the promos. So the Epcot overhaul is now quote unquote finished now that Test Track 3.0 has opened. So is this the year where we are getting a Figment attraction update announcement? Drew, please tell me. Please tell me yes. Please.
Please.
Figment will get that update, but it's not going to be this year. Um,
Ah!
there's not going to be there's not going to be any major announcements this year. I can promise you that. But
Yeah.
Figment
No.
is going to happen. Like this is the time for Imagineering to do it. And
Yeah.
I know everyone's going to be like, "Oh, well, people have been talking about that for 2 decades." But like, hey, I mean, I know there's a lot of like back and forth and mixed opinions on Disney's leadership, but yes, we're losing the Muppets for Monsters Inc. But hey, there's no denying that people have been wanting that Monsters Inc. coaster for almost 20 years now, right? Even Villains Land, like we were just talking about, that's been wanted for so long. So yeah, again, did we lose the Rivers of America? I'm not happy about that, but like we're getting a Villains Land out of it. So like it's a catch 22 in some ways. And I just think that between, we called Imagineering, like you mentioned, Imagineer, that they're doing so much more personal content lately. And I think that for the first time in probably 6, 7 years, they kind of have a really solid pulse on the community. Like they're
Mhm.
they're seeing that feedback to the point that I'll never forget. Even last year, D23, right when Josh started, he's like, everything we're doing tonight is in active development. And then he kind of went into how a lot of people were speculating about those things. And he directly acknowledged on stage how some of our predictions were spot on and some of them were far off before he even announced anything that night, which confirms that Josh himself is seeing these things online, or one of his assistants or people on his team is kind of giving him a report, on what we're saying. So
Oh,
I also,
so they did hear me when I said the Muppets should go to Rock and Roller Coaster, but they didn't hear the part where I said, "Oh, but we don't remove Muppet Courtyard."
yeah, they,
Selective hearing, Disney.
yes, I would, sometimes I think like how fun it would be to be
Hate
a
you so
fly on the
much.
wall. Imagine being a fly on the wall, at Imagineering behind closed doors when like these decisions are signed
Well,
off.
Josh did just fly over in the airplane when
Yeah,
we
there
were
you
doing
go.
this
There you
this
go.
podcast. So I now I have to leave it in the edit because I did a callback. No, I think that yeah, that makes total sense, and I could also see them. Given some of the names of these panels and things that are happening, I could also see updates on, like you're saying, these smaller little updates and things that are already happening, but we haven't necessarily gotten too much on some new concept art at Hong Kong Disneyland Spider-Man drop ride and Shanghai Disneyland Spider-Man roller coaster at the China panel on Sunday at 2:45 p.m. And then there's also one for France at 3:20 p.m., which hey, Lion King, all of those, is it coincidence that like all of those approvals and things that were submitted for to the French
Mhm.
Yeah.
government all came out, and now we have this French panel coming up the week later. Like I think that they're kind of anticipating this. Plus, there's also one for Japan on Saturday at
Right.
2:25 p.m. Eastern. So maybe Space Mountain update or something additional about those wild Oriental Land Company concept arts that had all the Adventureland replacements, which is I still can't wrap my head around that. But the one that is super interesting to me is Saturday at 11:30 a.m. Eastern. There's Disney Around the World, not in France, not China, not Japan, not anywhere where there's a park, India.
India.
So what do we, Drew? What do you
Drew,
make
what's
of
in
that?
India?
What? Yeah, yeah, Drew.
Yeah. I
What's
uh
what's what's going
I
on
don't
there?
have any insight into this, but I do think it's worth noting that like I honestly think that these little presentations for the countries, I think they're just going to be pre-recorded sizzle reels in between each panel where they're kind of setting up for the next one. So
Yeah.
part of me even would be shocked if they even show anything during these little 5 minute things, and it might just be more of like how Disney's history and like maybe showing something from the Walt Disney archives in these pre-edited clips that they're kind of just playing in between panels. But I don't know, the India thing is interesting because like what in India has a connection that they'd really want to highlight for 5 minutes in front of thousands of people. There's I don't think there's going to be a single announcement in this, but I'm
No,
more
no.
curious on what is it gonna be. Like I'm like you said, when you go to Japan, there's things at the parks and there's movies connected and like there's always like there's like a story that you can immediately think of when you think of those other countries. But with India, I'm like, hmm. But yeah, we'll see.
I
Yeah.
wonder if there is a strong tourism connection between India and Abu Dhabi. As to,
Interesting.
and maybe that's what, maybe there was a team who went there and is looking into sort of demographics and who travels to Abu Dhabi and what kind of, what airlines and what, like, so this is like essentially what they found there, and it's like a highlight reel of great tourism in India or something, and like opportunities for Disney to expand in India and the way that Disney films are released in India. So, I mean, just to sort of stake a claim of, I guess, brand identity in
We
this
are
place
there.
that
Yep.
essentially that is, we have a presence there. We wanted to go there and establish a presence there because there is a strong tourism funnel from India to Abu Dhabi, which there might be. Now I am curious about looking into that to see if that
Abu
is
Dhabi do.
the case. But yeah, I can't. I mean, they have the booth at Food and
At
Wine
Food and Wine.
sometimes. So,
Stay tuned for my full coverage of Food and Wine, everybody.
boom.
But no, literally, that is the only thing I can think of about Disney in India is like the 2 food items at Food and Wine at the booth.
Yeah.
Yeah,
It's,
I'm curious to see it.
It's very interesting, and like I'm looking at the little schedule right now on these descriptions, and for the around the world segments, it says around the world with the Walt Disney Archives, but then it's saying connecting to legendary destinations around the globe. So it's like, is
Yeah.
this going to lean into the history of like how, kind of like you guys mentioned, the fan connection between these stories and cultures, or
I think so.
yeah, or is it going to be a way to maybe announce something? I don't know. Because, if they're talking about actual destinations, that would include, the parks and the cruise ships. But again, it's 5 minutes. But I mean, I guess in a 5-minute video, even if just 60 seconds of that reveals something, it would almost be like, because we're not getting much, that would be something to be excited about.
Yeah.
Which is kind of sad to say, Yeah, it's
Yeah.
interesting.
Well-
I feel like that's the most out of everything for this entire D23. I feel like those little multiple 5-minute videos is what I'm most interested in what they're going to be
Same.
somehow.
Because like, what
Same.
are they exactly?
Yeah. What the hell
Yeah.
is it? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, I didn't even announce this, but I will be at both days at D23, so make sure to follow the entire weekend of my coverage of it. And there's, it's one room I want to mention that everything is happening in. So it's because it's a conference more than it is, I guess, than like an expo with multiple rooms. So we're in one room with all of this stuff happening, which is why Drew was saying that these are these little 5-minute like breaks of these videos that will kind of like transition us into the next panel that comes up. But Drew, are there any panels or presentations that catch your eye? As ones, should we watch out that like any like give any interesting like tea of anything, even if it's not parks related, or if it is parks related? Like what's catching your eye the most?
Yeah, I mean, I think like we've talked about the villains panel, obviously, but I think there's 3 other ones in here that kind of could be maybe something sneaks its way in, because either they had it planned originally, or the feedback of No Parks panel is going to make them add it and somehow incorporate it into the programming that was already planned. And there's one that's talking about the history of Disneyland in its 70 years. And whenever you're talking about Disneyland's history, my mind always goes to the future. And there's so much stuff at California Adventure right now that even if they just take 5 minutes talking about, Avengers going vertical and slip in a new piece of concept art, or say, hey, let's talk about Coco because of how perfectly this connects to the culture of people in California, and drop a new piece of concept art and say, oh yeah, by the way, that's going vertical on the exact date because they moved construction up from 2026 to this fall. And I think by now they'd probably have a date in mind of when they actually want to break ground, right? Or breaking ground, not vertical, because you have to do that first, obviously. Also, the castles, talking about castles around the world. Like I mentioned earlier, the Abu Dhabi castle, like it's going to take another 1.5 years for the plans in Abu Dhabi to be finalized. But if they wanted to drop something about how they're kind of approaching that castle and how it's going to be the most unique castle, they could talk about that. Or
I think
announce
they'll
the
do
return
that.
of the
Yeah.
Dreamlights.
Yeah.
Yeah, it feels
Oh, the
inevitable
Dreamlights.
because like yeah, and that's
That's
a
a
big
good
stretch. I'm not expecting this. Like I'm trying to keep my expectations low. But if they
Yeah.
want like 10,000 people on their feet standing and clapping, you announce the Dreamlights returning in front of everyone. That would be a
Yeah.
massive win. And
And
I don't know.
it's such a small, easy thing to give
Yeah.
us too. Like that's a
Yeah.
great idea. Yeah.
Yeah,
Though,
it's,
can I be totally honest with you guys? I don't really care about them. Because you know why? I hate how they look in the daytime. At night, they're beautiful, but I really don't like how they look in the day.
Yeah, it's a valid point, and I honestly think that when people are like, "Oh, budget cuts," I wonder if there was internal feedback that executives looked at with people saying, "Hey, we're spending so much money to be here, and our castle photos look ugly because of these lights on them." And I think there's a lot more to the story here than just finance. But yeah, that's why I'm not expecting the dream lights to come back. Like I know at one point, I just heard through the grapevine, it wasn't my own source; it was someone that had a source that knew. And supposedly a couple of years ago, they were close to coming back. So I wonder if that conversation reignited and now they've crossed the finish line. Right. Maybe is like, hey, our fans are pissed about Muppet Vision and Tom Sawyer Island, so we need a win here. We need something to make them happy in the meantime. Or maybe they're repainting the castle from this royal pink back to, its classic 1970s look,
I was going to say maybe that would be it. I was shocked that after the 50th, it was not put back. And I've gotten very used to this castle actually now. And I don't know if I want it back. And
how dare you?
I was, let me tell you, I was so against, first of all, the first initial paint job that they did with the castle, like during the day, like with the sun at points, it looked terrible. I think it's maybe has faded over time or something. Like something is different about it that I actually quite like. But I remember being furious about the castle being changed, and now I'm like, I don't know. Maybe I might miss this. I got used to it,
Demi, just because everything in Florida is that putrid color of salmon pink does not mean that it has to translate to our castle. So let's take it back.
That's exactly what I thought of too. Like when, because the sun would hit it when it first got painted, it looked like a salmon, like more of like an orangey pink than it really is, and like a house in Florida. It literally looked like that. But I don't know. I mean, we'll see.
Yeah, we don't like her.
We don't.
Yeah, my whole take is I like the current castle too. But here's the thing, Joey. I'm sorry. Joey's gone. Oh no.
I've left the frame.
I know Japan isn't the exact castle, but it's so close to the old castle that this gives it some different. Like it makes it a little different. Yeah.
Sorry, what I would love for them to actually repaint it, but something that I loved from the original 1970s Cinderella Castle here at Walt Disney World compared to how it looked, 2018 or right before they repainted it, was the bricks were very prominent. Like the paint between the bricks made them stand out, whereas that's been lost since the park first opened. So I think if they repainted it back to the white, I think that'd make a lot of people happy just because it's classic. But also brought back the bricks to where it's something new, to where it wasn't like it was in, maybe 10 years ago. I don't know. I feel like that'd be fun. And there's so much happening in Magic Kingdom that maybe they're going to be like, hey, as a part of our park's transformation, we kind of want to reset Cinderella Castle as this next chapter of the park. But I don't know. My mind is going specifically to that castles panel because in the description they said there's surprises beyond the spires. So whether they're saving a reveal for a castle in Villains Land, even though the Villains panel is before that, something. I mean, I really would hope that they would talk about if they're going to put Maleficent's castle in Villains Land during the Villains panel. But that is beyond Cinderella Castle, quite literally and figuratively. So, again, I feel like none of this is going to happen, and because there's nothing happening at this presentations, my mind is just trying to, dream of the best case scenario, and that's not going to happen.
That's an interesting point. I
don't know. It's fun to speculate on, though.
Yeah, and now you made me think that the castles panel is going to be the most interesting one because there is so much concrete, the castles are literally only in the parks, so there has to be something about the park. So you heard it here first. The castles panel is our parks panel. Yay!
What I noticed, and you look at the schedule on on the D23 app and probably online, there is at the very top of Saturday there's a cruise ship, but there's no cruise panel.
That maybe that confirms that these plans changed and they forgot to pull the asset from the site.
Oh yeah, maybe. Well, I mean, you did say before, Drew, the with Villains there could be some, touch on the upcoming Disney Destiny. I'm surprised that there isn't something dedicated.
I agree, especially because that's such a massive investment to expand the fleet so quickly. Like you said, they're just turning out these ships. I don't even understand how they build these things and they float within a year and a half. It blows my mind how
crazy. I saw the
Not
first
us.
push out of it floating, and I remember seeing like somebody post like she floats. I'm like, well, she better.
Yeah,
Road
literally,
work ahead.
not us saying on this pod. We're like, how do boats float? We
Yeah.
don't know how do
It's
boats
so big
float?
and heavy. How is it floating?
How is it floating? Clang,
Yeah,
clang
no.
went the trolley, float, float went the boat.
What always fascinates me with cruise ships is how they have to balance out the weight of the ships, and that determines on what offering you have. So like when they're
Right.
announcing these things coming to the cruise line and they're like, oh, Lion King, Incredibles, like all these IPs, like those IPs are based off of where everything has to go and how much space they have. And then you have to build a story within that. It is mind-boggling to me. And I think that's
Yeah.
why as I get a little bit older, I've been more fascinated with the cruise line compared to even like a few years ago, all I cared about was the parks. And I'm kind of
Yes.
finding this curiosity with the cruise ships because of how much of an engineering marvel they are. But I want
They
to go back
really-
to this
really
castle
are.
thing really quick because,
Go ahead.
again, this is another Druism that people would roll their eyes at.
Truism.
A couple
I
of
love
months
that.
ago, Epic Games had their Unreal Fest out here in Orlando. Epic Games, the creator of Fortnite,
Yes.
and they teased Cinderella Castle and Happily Ever After coming to Fortnite as part of this Disney universe. And I almost wonder if they're going to touch on recreating the castles in Fortnite and allowing people to visit them digitally. I don't know. Just a thought. But there's a lot of possibilities
Interesting.
here. So, yeah.
Do you
Not
think they'll do
you-
it in Hitman?
Or Universal
That's the
Adventures for GameCube.
That's the only. No, Hitman's on Epic Games, so like
I know,
that's the
I'm
only
kidding.
one I play.
Kidding.
I remember
I love-
that little
I
Woody
would-
Woodpecker game at Universal when I was a kid.
Yes, yes.
I would actually like. Oh, do you know how much I would pay to have Hitman be in a Disney park to do Hitman activities? Oh my god!
Or you know
oh my
what?
god! It'd
No.
be so like imagine like subduing and like doing like kills on in Disney.
Okay, you know what?
That'd be Kingdom Keeper's twisted version.
We're putting it out there because you know what? We don't know what's going on at these panels. So okay. Magic Kingdom, Piston Peak, think again. It's Hitman USA. That is the new land that's coming. Also, you know what? I want a Tomb Raider land. How about we replace Dinosaur with the Tomb Raider ride? How about that?
I'm happy with that. That's fine.
Yeah, I'm happy with that too. And also, I also love that Drew is like, as I get older, and then proceeds to reference the most like Gen Z video game of all time. And I'm like,
sold, baby.
Drew, you are, yeah, we know. What are you, 23? You're like 23?
I am 23, yes.
Yeah. Yeah, see, I clocked it. I'm not me being literally a full 12 years older than you. And you being like, oh, I'm getting older. I'm getting so much older.
As I'm
Speaking-
maturing a little bit, I should say.
So Drew, what about updates on existing projects? I know we kind of like talked about it, but like Piston Peak, do you think we're going to get any new concept art or tea on this like e-ticket ride model or ride system? Or maybe like, there's 2 rides. We didn't really hear.
Yeah.
Yeah.
We didn't really hear much about the other thing. Like, do you think we're going to get anything about that?
I don't think so, honestly. I don't know. I like my...
Just keep breaking my heart.
I know. It's so sad because I spent like 3 days on this 31-minute long YouTube video where I was talking all about this stuff. And then like right after the schedule drops and I'm looking at the schedule at the top, because that's always where the panels are, at the very top of the schedule. Like my eye is trained to go to the top at like the 9 a.m. thing. And nothing's there.
Right.
Well, maybe
And I
it'll
feel
be
like-
a little surprise.
We'll
Yeah.
see.
I feel like last year was just like so intense too. Like,
Yeah.
and
It was a lot. Yeah.
it was a
Almost.
lot. So I feel like, I kind of understand too as to like, I don't think they also want to have this like expectation of every year you're getting this intense,
Yeah.
news, but,
Yeah. Great point. Yeah.
who knows what kind of guests, what kind of things we'll see. I'm still excited. I think it's going to be a fun weekend. I also, a part of it, get to get a preview of Beacon Barrel, the new Pirates Bar, on the opening of it. So I'm excited to be a part of the experience. It's my first D23, so like on personal. So I'm excited about it. I'm excited about my outfits. Stay tuned for that.
Oh, they're good. Trust, they're good.
Oh, they're so good, you guys. I can't.
They're good.
But I as I look at the schedule, I might say that as excited I am for all of the panels, lunch break sounds great because we're gonna be in one room for many hours in the same spot. Can't wait to stretch my legs and maybe eat some food at Coronado Springs. So
If the lines are an
Anyway.
hour long.
Well, thank you so much, Drew, for joining
Yes,
us
thank
and your
you.
insight. We really appreciate all of your thoughts and your
Druisms. Love it so much. Thank you, Drew.
That's me. I don't know. I think so deeply about these things sometimes. I'm like, does anyone care about this? But I don't know. I think that makes me unique in a world full of content creation. So I might as well talk about it.
Yes, absolutely.
Well, and we
And
appreciate you.
Thank you guys for inviting me on.
Honestly, thank you for doing this. And like at such truly,
happy
not
to.
to harp on your age, but like such a young age doing this and like having such a cool perspective and a seasoned perspective for being so young. It really is impressive.
A really like deep understanding of it all. Because at 23, I don't know what I was doing. So
what was I doing it?
I don't know. I feel like I'm a little ahead of like where I'm at with my age because I think about like so much from my subjective perspective, like just growing up as a fan, and then kind of like not transitioning, but gaining a new perspective from content creation and looking at things from a business perspective. And like, even if I'm not happy about it, like I can understand why the decision is being made and at least being able to offer again that insight as to why it's happening and who's working on this or anything about the project. So I don't know. I just feel like it kind of comes naturally as a result of me following these things so closely that I can then speak on it rather than pretending I know about it because I do in this case. So I love it. And for now, I guess I'll just keep doing it.
Well, we're so appreciative of you, and make sure to go follow Drew the Disney Dude on everywhere.
Yep.
Everywhere.
Literally everywhere. Yes.
And that's it for this week. Thank you so much, Drew, for being here. Stay up to date with us as we are on the ground at HHN and D23 and Epcot Food and Wine. My video will be out Friday morning, the 29th. All the food booths, stay tuned. And stay up to date with us over on our socials at Magical Hijinks. That's HIJINX. And of course, Joey Nolfi on all socials for the latest updates.
And please follow us at Park Peeps Pod and leave us a comment. Give us the highest rating possible. Share our pod with your friends so we can keep bringing you the most piping hot tea on the park circuit. And also subscribe to that Substack that I was talking about earlier because that will be launching this week as well. But until next week when we return with our full HHN 34 thoughts and rankings, we will see you next time.
See you in the fog. Bye-bye.
Oh. Make the castle white and blue. That's what I'm going out on. Don't say anything.